What would I sacrifice to get Tamiya and Mr. Hobby Sprays back into Canada? My second-born child. Why not my first? Because I love him a lot. Hello there. It's Paul from Sunward Hobbies. Kumusta, everyone? That means, how are you in Tagalog? Yes, it does. I'm still fluent, guys, I promise. I did not abandon you. Anyway, so previous weeks, a couple weeks ago, I made a video called Top 5 Best Kits of 2025. Basically, the best kits that were released in 2025. Hopefully there's a link down in the description below for that video, just so you can watch if you haven't seen it. You guys really like that video. I think by the time we post this video, there's probably gonna be over 10K views. And yes, it's quite nice. That list was topped by the 1/72nd scale Tamiya F14 Tomcat Chef's Kiss. Compliments to the chef, which would be Tamiya. And that's an incredible kit, probably a top 3 Tomcat kit released within the last 7 years, I would guess. Right? There's a couple releases here and there. So, but in that video, the thumbnail, a couple of you noticed, but you guys were good sports, and you guys knew exactly what I was talking about in the video. Anyway, there's a ribbon on the thumbnail of that video that says bestseller. Not to anyone's fault. We're working on like 15 videos simultaneously, so it's all good. And that got spoiled, or sorry, this video got spoiled. And this video is a best-selling video, which is the top 5 best-selling paint brands from 2025. And yes, I do mean January 2025 all the way down to December. And initially, I wasn't going to make a video about this topic. I just thought it was a nothing burger topic. I just asked Angelo, and Angelo gave me a list. And I'm like, what? This list? Initially, I'm like, this makes no sense. How is that possible? But then I thought about it. It's like, yes, actually, it's completely possible, because it happened. This is the actual factual list. We will be keeping the numbers confidential, but this is it. This is the ranking for our store, which we sold quite a bit of paints overall. So, hey, that's a decent evidence to how the hobby as a whole may be doing, or just the paint brand in general, how they're doing. You might be surprised about one particular brand. You're like, where the heck are they? Well, once I explain it, you're like, actually, that makes a lot of sense. So yes, let's get right into it with our number 6. But before we get started, I'd just like to very quickly and proudly announce that for the first time in our store's history, we will have an in-person, in-store, that's right, in-store painting class. We've been waiting for this for a while, and you guys have asked us, to do this. So, hey, we're finally doing it, so that's great. The class takes place on April 18th at 11 a.m. This class will be led by Mr. Adrian Peck at War Glamour Minis on Instagram. Follow him there. That's his handle, at War Glamour Minis. Once again, direct links down below for his Instagram page. Follow him, show him some love and appreciation. Tell him we sent you. So yeah. Also, direct links down below will be the sign up for our, the class, and it will directly lead you to our website so you can sign up. The fee includes a free mini and the class, of course, and the paints itself will be provided by Adrian, though of course he owns the paints, so you can't take those home, but you do get a free mini plus the class included with the fee. So yes, pretty good, pretty good. And also, Adrian is a big deal, because if you actually click one of the pinned posts on his profile, you'll see why. He is a Golden Demon Bronze recipient for large-scale miniature painting. He is insanely good, to say the very least, and amongst other awards as well. He won numerous awards. So yeah, sign up now. You'll be led into battle gloriously by Adrian. Should be fun. We've been looking forward to this for a long, long time. Number 6 belongs to, that's right, Humbrol. If you can believe it, that's right. The honorable mention spot, or the number 6 spot, belongs to Humbrol. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I was sent this information by Angelo. And you might be saying, why? Why don't you believe it, Paul? It's because that for a while there, we just could not get Humbrol stock to save our lives. It was borderline impossible. It was rough. We only got, I believe, 1, maybe 2 restocks throughout all of 2025, once very early in the year and once near the end of the year. So, and I guess that was enough of a push to put it at number 6, or the honorable mention spot. And you might be saying, Paul, again, why? Why is it that low? Or why is it even there to begin with? We just couldn't get stock. That's why I doubted the information. Guys, the Humbrol stock issue was so bad, we thought the company died in 2025. Because we received a preliminary restock in January or February of 2025, and then another one all the way down in the winter. That's right, around November or December, we received a restock. That gap there is why we thought the company just perished. But there's enough of you guys out there that are dedicated Humbrol fanboys, or just maybe enamel is your choice paint kind, or type, not paint kind, paint type, that you pushed it all the way to number 6. Telling us that if Humbrol was more consistent with their production, that they would be a lot higher on this list. And we tried, guys. We tried to get stock. We did. Promise. So that's why they're honorable mentions. After a quick look at Team Canada's curling team there, we now move on to our number 5 spot, which may surprise some people, and that is... boom! Our number 5 is Revell Aqua Color. That's right, this is Revell's very own water-based answer to Vallejo AK Interactive 3rd generation paints. We have Army Painter as an option as well, Citadel, right, 2 thin coats, etc., etc. These are the answers for those paints. And I say answer, but really they're compatible. That's what I mean. So let's say you have a Vallejo paint thinner. You can use it directly on Aqua Color with no issues. So yeah, that's why their popularity is boosted up, but there are other reasons. Let's get to that really quickly. Number 1 as to why they're popular, or at least this popular at number 5, is because, you know, to say that water-based is king in the modern era is an understatement. People are always looking for paints that are compatible with their favorite paints, and it's just the fact that water-based is now king. And one of those compatibility options that they have if you use water-based is Revell. So hey, that's already kind of a point towards Revell. But number 2, Revell paints are specially engineered for Revell kits, and honestly, just kits in general of these 2 types, a car and the plane. Revell just happens to have a lot of those kinds of model kits. So if you use Tamiya, consider using Revell paints if you are a water-based painter, because cars and planes are essentially one continuous curved surface, and water-based paints typically struggle on those kinds of surfaces. Try painting a car, seriously. Oh, with a brush paint? Come back to me after you've started crying. After the second coat, don't be surprised that a brush stroke started appearing here and there. It's just the nature of it. Water-based paints dry too fast and too unevenly. So yes, they seem to have slightly mitigated those issues with Revell paints. You can actually kind of smell the formula. So typically water-based acrylics don't smell like anything. There's a slight smell with Revell, which is the only, I think, maybe downside to Revell paints, is that when they freeze, they become sort of unrecoverable. So maybe that's why they're only number 5, because their sales dip during the winter months. But otherwise, yeah, surprised it was here, though ultimately not surprised now. Anyone else thirsty? Well, it seems like me and the list and everyone watching this video is thirsty, because from here onwards, honestly, it started at number 5. From number 5, 4, 3, and 2 are all water-based paint lines. Starting off at number 4, we have the illustrious Army Painter. That's right, Army Painter. I'm surprised to see them this low. I thought they were number 3 or something, but hey, they're still in the top 5, so good for them. Army Painter has 3 paint lines designated by a cap sort of color system. The white ones are the easiest to remember because that is the main paint line. The Fanatic War Paints paint line, or the War Paint Fanatics paint line, whichever one you use to refer to them. But Basically, they are the revamp that came out in 2024, I would say around early to mid 2024. They replaced the older generation of mainline Army Painter paints. And basically, if your bottle doesn't have the label Fanatic on it, it is the older formula. Some of those paints no longer exist as they've been discontinued and changed to a different name or a different formula or whatever else. So yes, some people do prefer the older sort of formula to the newer Fanatic formulas. I disagree completely though. I prefer the newer ones. They are much smoother and much more responsive to water. They don't dry as fast and they dry more evenly. That seems to be the trend with water-based as of late. Because they're trying to fix the main water-based problem. The second paint line we have here is the speed paints. This is Army Painter's answer to contrast paints by Citadel. They were, I believe, the first one to respond to Citadel's release of contrast paints, which happened, I would say, late 2019, early 2020 for Citadel. They came out shortly by end of that year with 1.0. Or was it early 2021? Something along those lines. It was quite fast, a turnaround from the competition revealing its hand to coming up with a brand new rival product. And the 1.0 showed its weaknesses. It wasn't that good, but they revamped the whole thing with the 2.0 release. And you can tell by the bottle right there, all of these are 2.0 releases, and they are now pretty good, I would say so. And finally, we have the gold caps. These are pre-thinned airbrush paints. That's right. Technically speaking, this is only the second pre-thinned airbrush paint line within the top 6. I say technically, we'll get to that in a sec. But basically, yeah, they're pre-thinned, meant to be plug and play, essentially. Just start painting. We've known them to be incredibly smooth. David himself has professed to this fact. And yeah, it's quite incredible. The paint range is also decent. I wouldn't say the best because there's one specific paint line that's pre-thin that trumps I wouldn't say maybe not the quality, but definitely the variety. So they're still quite good though, especially the metallics like Elven Armor that you see here. But despite all this and what I've said about these two, combined sales figure-wise, they still don't come close to Warpaint Fanatics. Warpaint Fanatics is basically carrying the Army Painter paint brand to number 4. And that's because, guys, we don't sell Army Painter paint sets anymore. We sell like the basing sets, but we don't sell paint sets. And despite all that, the Warpaint Fanatics sell a lot. So much so that they're number 4. And there is a sort of phantom force, phantom menace, so to speak, that is carrying the top 4, at the very least, number 4, 3, and 2, and maybe 5. But 5, which is Revell paints, is largely not being used for this part of the hobby, the phantom menace. Number 3 is Citadel. Are we really surprised? Come on, guys. Are we really surprised? Please don't say you're surprised. Yes, yes, yes. We've heard it all before from Games Workshop. You know, the complaints by fans. Yes, yes. Let it out, right? The prices, we've heard it. The paint buckets, we've heard it. The fact that on the paint bucket, the paint can dry on the rim, so the paint jar doesn't close properly. So when you go to shake it, it actually explodes on your hand and onto your shirt. Rest in peace, my old Revenge of the Sith jacket. That kills me to this day. But anyways, yes, yes, we know it. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. But at the same time, there's a lot to love with Games Workshop. Yeah, their paint range is self-contained, but they're compatible with everyone else, you know. So it's not that sort of big of a deal. The paint quality themselves, I personally think they're quite good. I know a lot of people are tired of Games Workshop, but they kind of take out their anger and say that they are pretty bad. I would say that there are paint ranges that are better, but I wouldn't say they're bad, not even close actually. But the main thing about Games Workshop is that their range has a lot of unique colors. Their paint range, as to why it's unique, is because they're highly litigated. They have an army of lawyers protecting their IP, and I don't blame them because everyone wants to be Games Workshop. Ever wonder why Army Painter has a color called something like angel green? Ever wonder why? Yeah, angels are not green, at least not according to pop culture depictions. You want to know why? It's because Dark Angels in Warhammer lore is a Space Marine Legion now chapter, and their main color is green. green. So yes, Games Workshop stands on an island, a very tall building within an island, but they are in an island, and everyone is trying to copy them, but they only can get so close because Games Workshop will the lawyers, metaphorically. So they can only step on Games Workshop's toes so much before they start to notice. So yeah, they're not quite the same color schemes from other brands. So that's why Games Workshop stands alone. And to be honest, the unique colors are quite poppy. No one else has them. And yeah, you can mix and match to make your own, come close to it, if not exact. But that's a lot of paints, and Games Workshop already has the offering. And also the Phantom Menace is Warhammer, by the way. That's what's carrying number 4, 3, and 2, and maybe 5, but definitely the middle part there. It's Warhammer, that's the Phantom Menace. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that the Phantom Menace, i.e. Warhammer, hard carried them to the number 3 spot. And that's because the unique colors directly correspond with a certain Warhammer kit, lore, faction, whatever. They're directly correspondent to each other, intrinsically bonded. So if you want to be as lore accurate as possible, those unique colors are the way to go. I have to stand for this because number 2 and number 1 are the true big boys of this list. There is a massive gulf between number 2 and the rest of the list in terms of sales. Number 2, unsurprisingly, is Vallejo. That's right, Vallejo, everyone's favorite. Vallejo needs no intro nor an explanation as to why it's number 2. Come on, guys, let's be for real. You use Vallejo, I use Vallejo. 70% of my paints are actually Vallejo. And everyone uses Vallejo. It is just that good. They are the benchmark and continues to be so for water-based acrylics. But what differs in 2025 from 2024 is that Vallejo released a brand new paint line. A paint line so beloved and so popular that it is a little bit ridiculous. This is the true metallic metal paint line. 80 paints total, 20 base, 20 lights for dry brushing or edge highlighting, 20 airbrush paints, and 20 shades. 80 paints total. Such a powerful line. And I mean that in a quality sense and a sales sense, because in a quality sense, they are the best metallics in the business. At the very least, best metallics in water-based acrylic. Their gold is a little bit Like I would say that it's about Retributor armor quality, not the same color, mind you, just in terms of the quality of gold you're gonna get. It's about that sort of level, which some people really like, some people really hate, but the rest of the line, guys, it's not even close, actually. It has no competition in water-based. Genuinely, none, zero. Then you also have the general stuff, right? Model color, model air, game air. You're familiar with them, I'm familiar with them, no explanation. So yeah, they're just the GOAT. Well, technically not, at least they're the GOAT of water-based, but number 1 is the true GOAT, perhaps, maybe, who knows? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't be surprised. Number 1 is Tamiya, obviously. Come on, guys. Are you surprised? You really shouldn't be. Why are you surprised? I hesitated on calling Vallejo the GOAT because of Tamiya, right? It's, you know, the battle of the strongest of the day versus the strongest in history. Vallejo versus Tamiya. Who will reign supreme as time goes on? We'll find out. Well, we did find out about Gojo and Sukuna. It was very close till the very end. But despite all that, Lady Gaga starts playing in the background. Despite all that, you know, Tamiya is legendary. And they're so legendary that you and I both know that in Canada, sprays are banned. That's right, their sprays got banned. And they're still number 1. So that's TS, PS, AS, some select primers. I believe the base lacquer thinner is also banned in Canada for Tamiya. Not the other version, the one with the retarder in it. Not that one. That one's not banned to our knowledge, just the base one. But even despite all that, not having stock for all those paints for about a year and a half now, they're still the GOAT. Or maybe Vallejo surpasses them in the future. They're well and truly on their way, but who knows? Tamiya is truly timeless. You shouldn't be surprised. And by the way, we're not counting sort of the tools here. This is just purely paints. Because I know Tamiya has a lot of tools and kits. If you're thinking about that, no, this is purely paints. And they're still outselling Vallejo. They're that good. Yeah, so don't be surprised. So before we go, I have the list of the numbers here, right? And you may have a list in your mind. So honorable mention, Humbrol, 5 Revell, 4 Army Painter, 3 Citadel, 2 Vallejo, 1 Tamiya. And you're like, Paul, something's missing. On my list, you didn't have Mr. Hobby. Is that a mistake of some sort? No, it's not a mistake for one particular reason. They got destroyed even harder than Tamiya. So their surfacers, both liquid and spray, top coat, I believe both liquid and spray for both of them, I believe. Definitely the spray part. The liquid is the I believe part. I'm not too sure about that. But definitely aqueous as well. Yes, the liquid paint line that's compatible with Tamiya acrylics. All of those got banned. They got destroyed here in Canada. So that would lead us with the C paints, which is all lacquer. To our knowledge, that's all okay. The super metallic stuff, that's all okay. Accretion, which is actually their water-based paint line, so that's directly compatible with Citadel, Vallejo, etc. That's also okay. It's just aqueous, the surfacers, and the top coats. A significant portion of their lineup. Yeah, that's why they're not in the top 6. Maybe they're number 7. I don't know about that part, but yeah, that's why. So, did the list surprise you? Personally, I am half surprised, half not. So, the biggest surprise for me is actually the honorable mention. That would be Humbrol. Judging by how 2025 went for them, I didn't expect them to be anywhere near the top 5, let alone number 6. But, you know, it is what it is. They were a significant factor in our sales during December, so fair enough, I guess. But I thought honorable mention would have been Mr. Hobby, just because of in the included paint list that Angela showed me, leveling thinner was included. And leveling thinner, we sold hundreds. Hundreds, guys. It's sold like hotcakes. And I'm not going to give you the full number, but it is a little ridiculous the amount we sold. Hundreds. So the fact that it's not even on the list, Mr. Hobby. And then number 5, I didn't think it was Revell. I thought it was Ammo by MiG. Surprised they're not on here too. And Citadel and Army Painter I had switched, but number 1 and number 2, come on. They're Vallejo and Tamiya. I work here, so I expected them to be here, and number 1 and number 2 respectively. But hopefully you weren't surprised either. Thank you guys so much for watching another top 5 video with this one's a little messier because unlike the other video where I show off the kits, there's a little bit of jokes sprinkled here, but it's mainly just me talking. So if you hate my voice or my face or both, it sucks for the both of us. That's a blow to my ego. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys showing up and viewing the other top 5, the top 5 best kits of 2025. That truly does warm my cold, dead heart. And every single item and brand mentioned in today's video will be available, links down below through our website, sunwardhobbies.ca. And of course, links down below as well would be the direct link for the sign up for the upcoming class on April 18th at 11 a.m. And I look forward to that. Maybe I'll try to sneak in. I think Angela kicks me out. And then obviously down below finally is the link to Adrian Peck's Instagram page. Follow him. That's at More Glamour Minis on Instagram. That's a glamour with a OU, by the way, not the American O spelling, OU. So thank you guys. This is Paul signing out. Bye-bye.